जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा गिरिधरी राधे जय राधा गिरिधरी श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमणि जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमणि जय गौरानिताय श्री श्री गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय श्री श्री गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय कृष्ण वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णव की जय। Hare Krishna everyone. Please welcome to this morning session Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm taking blessing plus all of you. Please bless me so that I can deliver the correct message, and please also correct me if I any mistakes. Hare Krishna. Today we are doing the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 24th chapter, and 67th verse. The song sung by Lord Shiva. Before that, we would like to read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. So I'll try to the share screen. Prabhuji, can you share the screen? Abhaychan Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, I'm doing it. Just a minute.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So is it visible now, Mataji?
Text is not visible. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So we are starting from here. My grant. I went up to him afterward. I had the same feeling I had on other occasions when I had been to hear famous people in concerts. I was always interested in going by after concerts to see musicians and singers just to meet them and see what they were like. I had a similar feeling after Swamiji spoke. So I went up and started talking, but the experience was different from the others in that he wasn't in a hurry. He could talk to me, whereas with others, all you could do was get in a few words. They were always more interested in something else, but he was a person who was actually showing some interest in me as a person, and I was so overwhelmed that I ran out of things to say very quickly. I was surprised. Our meeting broke off on the basis of my not having anything further to say. It was just the opposite of so many other experiences where some performer would be hurrying off to do something else. This time I was the one who couldn't continue. Prabhupada liked to take walks. From his doorstep at 94 Bowery, he would see directly across the street in Fulton Hostel if a five-story top clubhouse. Surrounding him were other lower Man- Manhattan lodging houses whose tenants wandered the sidewalks from early morning till dark. An occasional flock of pigeons would stir and fly from one rooftop to the next or descend to the street. Traffic was heavy. The Bowery was part of a truck route to and from Brooklyn by way of the Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges. The Bowery sloped gently downhill toward the north, and Prabhupada could see signboards, a few scraggly Manhattan trees, and the street lines and traffic signals as far up as 4th Street. He could see Con Edison with its prominent clock tower, and if there were no clouds, the top of the Empire State Building on 34th Street. He would walk alone in the morning through the Bowery neighborhood. The month of May that year saw more frequent rains than was normal, and Prabhupada carried an umbrella. Sometimes he walked in the rain. He was not always alone. Sometimes he walked with one of his new friends and talked. Sometimes he shopped. Bitter melon, dal, hing, chickpea flour, and other specialty foods common in Indian vegetarian cuisine were available in Chinatown's nearby markets. On leaving the loft, he would walk south a few steps to the corner of Bowery and Hester Street. Turning right on Hester, he would immediately be in Chinatown, where the shops, markets, and even the Manhattan Savings Bank were identified by science letters in the Chinese. Sometimes he would walk one block further south to Canal Street with its Central Asian food market and many other street side fruit and vegetable markets. In the early morning, the sidewalks were almost deserted, but as the shops began to open for business, the streets became crowded with local workers, shopkeepers, tourists, and aimless derelicts. The winding side streets, Chinatown were lined with hundreds of small stores and parked cars lined both sides of the street. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, that's fine, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. And yeah, can you please share the verse also, Prabhuji? Thank you.
Yes, Mataji, I'm doing it. Just allow me a second.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So, Mataji, is it visible now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Can you make the screen big, Prabhuji? Big screen.
Is it okay? Or?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. So we are reading the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 24th chapter, song sung by Lord Shiva, and 67th verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kaspatpadamjam Vijahati Pandito Este Avamana Vyayamana Kedanaha Visankasmad Gururachati Smayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa Kastvam Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Este Amana Vyamana Ketanaha Visakayasmad Gururachati Smayad Vinopapattam Manavas Chaturdasa Kastvatpadabjam vijahati pandito este avamana vyayamana ketanaha visakayasmat gururachati smayad vinopapattim manavas chaturdasa. Anybody wants to recite the sloka, please welcome.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I'm trying.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Kastam padabjam bijahati pandito jaste abmana vayamana ketanaha vishankayashmad guru rachati smadhyat vinopapattim manavas chaturdasha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
কস্তৎপদাব্জজ বিজহাতি পণ্ডিত ইয়স্তে অবমান ব্যয়মান কেতনঃ বিশঙ্কয়াস্মদ্গুরুর অর্চতি স্ম ইয়ৎ বিনোপপত্তিম মনবশ্চতুর্দশ। হরে কৃষ্ণ।
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, I am also trying.
Yes, Mataji, please.
कस्तत्पदं भजं विजहति पण्डितो जस्ते अवमानव्ययमानकेतना विशङ्कया स्म दुरर्चति स्म यद् विनोपपत्तिं मनवश्चतुर्दश. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, anybody wants to recite or we go for synonyms? Anybody wants to read the synonyms? Please welcome.
হরে কৃষ্ণ মাতাজি।
Yes, Mataji, please.
ক হু ত্বৎ your পদাব্জম lotus feet বিজহাতি avoids panditah learned ya who they unto you obamana deriding vyomana decreasing ketanah this body vishankaya without any doubt asmat our guru spiritual master father Orchoti worships small in the past, yet that Bina without Upapottim agitation, Manavaha Damonus Chaturdasha 14. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, anybody like to read the translation?
Hare Krishna, I'll do the thank you. Srila
Yes.
Prabhupada, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. My
Jai.
dear Lord, any learned person knows that unless we worship you, his entire life is spoiled. Knowing this, how could he give up worshipping your Lord's feet? Even our Father and spiritual master, Lord Brahma, unhesitatingly worship you, and the 14 minutes followed in his footsteps.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody would like to read purport?
Yes, Mataji, I can.
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Yeah, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The word Pandita means a wise man, who is actually a wise man. The wise man is described in Bhagavad Gita 7.19 in this way. Bahunam janmanam ante gyanavan mam prapaddate vasudeva sarvameti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such great soul is very rare. Thus, when the wise man actually becomes wise after many births and whimsical attempts at self-realization, he surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Such a Mahatma or learned person knows that Krishna, Vasudeva, is everything. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti.
Yeah.
Learned persons always think that life is wasted unless they worship Lord Krishna or become his devotee. Srila Rupa Goswami also says that when one becomes an advanced devotee, he understands that he should be reserved and preservant, sanitaha, and that he should engage in the service of the Lord and not waste time. Avyartha kalabatam. Kalatvam. He should also be detached from all material attraction, virukti, and he should not long for any material respect in return for his activities, mana shunnata. He should be certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him Asha Bandha, and he should always be very eager to serve the Lord faithfully. Samutkantha. The wise man is always very eager to glorify the Lord. By chanting and hearing Nama Gane Shada Ruchi. And he is always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Asaktis Tad Guna Khane. He should also be attracted to those places where the Lord had his pastimes. Prittis Tad Bashati Shale. These are symptoms of an advanced devotee. Mataji, shall I continue or someone can read?
Yeah. If anybody wants to read, Mataji, they can read it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
An advanced devotee or a perfect human being who is actually wise and learned, cannot give up his service at the lotus feet of Lord. Although Lord Brahma has a long lifespan, 4.32 million years, 4.22 billion years, years constitute 12 hours in a day of Brahma. Brahma is afraid of death and consequently engages in devotional service of the Lord. Similarly, all the Manus who appear and disappear during the day of Brahma are also engaged in the Lord's devotional service. In Brahma's one day, 14 Manus appear and disappear. The first Manu is Swayambhuva Manu. Each Manu lives for 71 yugas, each consisting of 4.32, 43 and 20,000 years. Although the Manus have such a long lifespan, they still prepare for the next life by engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. In this age, human beings only live for 60 to 80 years, and even this small lifespan is gradually decreasing. Therefore, it is even more important for human beings to take to the worship of the lotus feet of the Lord by constantly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra as recommended by Lord Chaitanya. Trinadopi Shunicheno Tororivo Sohishnuna Amanina Manodeno Kirtanio Sadahuri Shikhastaka 3. So someone can continue now from me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
When
please.
one is engaged in devotional service, he is often surrounded by envious people, and often many enemies come to try to defeat him or stop him. This is not new in this present age, for even in the days of your Prahlad Maharaj, who was engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, was harassed by his demoniac father Hiranyakashipu. The atheists are always prepared to harass a devotee. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suggested that one to be very tolerant of these people. Nonetheless, one has to continue chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and preaching the chanting of this mantra because such preaching and chanting constitute the perfection of life. One should chant and preach about the urgency of making this life perfect in all respects. One should thus engage in the devotional service of the Lord and follow in the footsteps of previous acharyas, beginning with Lord Brahma and others. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, one more time, I read the translation. My dear Lord, any learned person knows that unless he worships you, his entire life is spoiled. Knowing this, how could he give up worshipping your lotus feet? Even our father and spiritual master, Lord Brahma, unhesitatingly worshipped you, and the 14 Manus followed in these footsteps. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जनिमुदीरते अष्टप्रायसुभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यचन्द्र ईश्वरं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. Welcome everyone. Actually, we are reading the verses from Rudra Gita. So Rudra Gita was sung by Lord Shiva himself. So he is giving the transcendental knowledge to Prachetas. So this knowledge is, in this knowledge, he is giving the essence of all the Vedas. He has given the descriptions of the concepts like Bhakti Yoga and the forms, qualities of Lord, beauty of the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord. And he described so many aspects in the Rudra Gita. If you go little beyond of these verses, the Rudra Gita started from 33rd verse to 67. It is so many verses actually. The entire essence is given by Lord Shiva in these verses. So, in the first verses, he was describing the forms of Lord, the four forms, quadruple expansions of Lord Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana, Narayana. So these forms. So he was explaining he is a form of intelligence. He is in the form of controlling mind. So he was describing so many qualities of Lord in different forms. And also he was explaining in further verses the beauty of Lord. And he was requesting the Lord give the association of your devotees. That means Lord Shiva is emphasizing the importance of association of devotees. And so many verses from 47 to 58, he was describing the beauty of Lord. So this is the one of the opulences of the Lord. In six opulences of the Lord, the all beauty is one of the attribute. He was describing the beauties of face, lotus eyes, nose, neck, and what are the ornaments Lord Krishna was wearing, and focusing on that. For it, this beautiness is important for the meditation. And also he was requesting Lord with the association of the devotees. And he was explaining to Prajetas that he is the cause of everything, he is the origin of everything. In the form of Sankarshana, he creates, he destroys. Even though he is creating everything, he is aloof, he is independent of all these material creations. And also in some other verses, he is saying that those who are engaging in the devotional service, whose heart is filled with devotional service, they can overcome these external feature of the Lord. That is the bewilderment of external energy, in the illusion, Maya. So he was emphasizing the importance of Bhakti Yoga, devotional service in so many verses. So he was also explaining whoever knows this, who the wise person who knows this, they were not affected by these material modes. So tattva rajotama gunas. And he was also explaining that the everything, the reason for all these material desires and all this is for grading. So when in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Arjuna was asking what is the reason why people are doing so many sinful actions forcibly or without any reason, why they are doing that, then Lord says that in 3.37 verse, Kama esa, Krodha esa, Rajoguna Samadbhava, Mahasano Mahapatno, Vidya Eva Vairina. That means the lust only, the desire only, making them to do all these sinful actions. So that's one in previous verse, in 66 verse, the Lord Shiva is explaining. They are so busy doing that, these, so many activities. They are engaged with so many other activities other than devotion service because of uncontrolled greediness. They can't control it. So in the nectar of instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami also explained Atyahara Prayasasya. Atyahara, so over endeavoring to achieve something, to achieve the knowledge, to achieve the money, over endeavoring. Prayasa, they try and they try. So in that endeavor only they waste their time. And that is also it becomes greedy. So wise men cannot. In these words, Lord Shiva is saying, by knowing all this, the wise person they cannot waste their time. Brahmanda Brahmite Kone, Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasada Paye, Bhakti Lata Bija, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that. So they waste Brahmanda Brahmite Kone. So these Jiva wandered so many janmas, so many bodies, from animal to insects to birds, so many, it takes bodies, it wanders without knowing anything, waste time. So by Guru Krishna Prasada Paye, by association of pure devotee, they come to know this knowledge about the Lord. Lord generally in Prabhupada says in this purports, Lord gives the intelligence. So the living entity, it utilizes in a it misuses. That means it places in a wrong way. If they use that intelligence, independence in a proper way, they go to higher planets. They advance in the spiritual journey. If they misuse it, they can take birth again and again. They come into the material pool. That means they are wasting their life. So in this verse, Lord Shiva is explaining how the wise person uses the time without wasting them. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, eighth verse also, it says, Isvaksena kada suya nanupajyate rati atim. That means if they are using, if they are not tasting for the in the affection towards the stories of glories of Lord, Srama eva kevalam. That means they are wasting their time. So Prabhupada also given an example. In the desert, camel, it eats thorns. So it is thorns. When it is eating the thorns, the blood oozes from the mouth of the camel. It enjoys. Even though it is very hard, that means we cannot eat blood like that. So, but the camel relishes it. Even though it is hard, camel relish it. In the same way, the people, human beings, all the living entities, they are working so hard. They think that is the permanent happiness. That is the happiness. They work hard 24 hours day and night to get that little happiness, but they don't know how much time they are wasting without understanding. So in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam vartate iti matvam bhajante mam bhutabhava samanvitaha. That means the wise who knows I am the cause of everything, I am origin of everything, he is the wise person. The wise person only, they can understand me as it is. They understand the glories of me. So that means the wise person means what is the meaning of that? The parameters are given in this verse by Prabhupada. So in these words, we describe mainly three topics. The first topic we are going to discuss is checklist, the parameters of spiritual advancement. So we take so many measures, but Prabhupada is giving actual measures from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitamrita. He is giving actual parameters, how we can understand we are advancing or not. It's like a checklist. Suppose in the physics we study MKS system, CGS system, the length, so meters, for the weight it is grams. In the length also in the CGS system, centimeters, weight also measured in grams, time is measured in seconds. Like that, there is a standard procedure to measure the length, weight, seconds, time, and all these. Sometimes they use also hand, foot, inches. They are not appropriate. So sometimes they use foot also. Sometimes they take inches also. But we may not get accurate results. But if you follow the standard methods like MKA system, CG system, if you measure that length in the kilometers for long distance, we get accurate results. In the same way, if you measure the devotional service of particular person in a different ways, like how far he is distributing books, how far that person, the devotee, is glorified many, how far that person is involving the activities, and how there are the eight symptoms of ecstasy. Those are hair standing on the body and tears flowing, voice choking. These are general symptoms. So Prabhupada is saying that by these symptoms, we cannot accurately measure how far we are advancing. So proper parameters are given. And also the second point we are going to discuss. So what are the person who are the personalities, great personalities. So they attained highest goal without wasting their time. The third point we are going to discuss, so what are the situations, even though the situations are bad or good, how they are continuing in the devotional service, because that is the main process to attain the love of the God. So these are the points we are going to discuss today. The first one, what are the checklists? Suppose if you are applying any application for the job, you have to submit some documents, and we check whether this document is there, when passport is there, identity is there, so many other certificates, we checklist. So in this way, for the spiritual advancement, so we can do ourselves, no need to tell. So you are advanced this much, no, we can do ourselves. So in this connection, in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Madhya 23rd chapter, 18th and 19th verse, so they are explaining these parameters as Anubhava. Anubhava means subordinate measures for ecstasy. Ecstasy means bhava mood. So there are nine stages. If you go from the Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Ruchi, Asakti, then comes Bhava. So, in order to attain that Bhava, before that, there are subordinate emotions. Whether these emotions are giving positive results to us or not. So, I have to check. The first one Prabhupada is explaining is Kshantir, forgiveness. So, this is the quality devotees should have, they must have that. Sometimes so many mistakes happen by devotees in the service of Lord. They keep Krishna in the center, they serve, and in the serving sometimes some misunderstandings, some mistakes, but they should have that attitude to forgive. That forgives means what happens if you forgive persons, what happens? Your tension will be released. Otherwise, you always think about, okay, this devotee, this Prabhuji did something to me, this Mataji did something to me. You always think about, you cannot focus on the devotional service. So we should have that. Prabhupada always says we should have, devotee should have tolerance, patience, and ignore, ignoring things. That means you should have a forgiveness. Without that forgiveness, we cannot. So one time, I was attending the class from one Maharaj in Vrindavan. He was asking that you should say in three ways of forgiveness. If it is possible, go personally, ask forgiveness. So immediately all your mistakes will be eradicated immediately. If you ask forgiveness, if you go personally and ask. So, if it is not possible, you can convey that message to others by indirectly. So, nowadays technology is there. Can use our mobiles. Sorry, I did this. Please forgive me. So, like that. If it is also not possible, sometimes we go to Krishna, pray to Krishna, please, I have done this mistake. So, please forgive me. I don't repeat this. So, in this way, we can avoid our mistakes, and these are offenses towards our other devotees. So, these offenses can be eradicated. So, very, very important parameter for our spiritual advancements. If you don't have that forgiveness, how others also can forgive you? You also do lots of mistakes, and also others, if you don't have that quality of tolerant, how others can tolerate you, that is also very important. So you always think about from your side. Okay, so I am doing so much, they are doing this, they are doing this, they are misunderstanding me. That means you always think why they are not tolerating me. Before that, you have to think, so how they are tolerating us by our mistakes. If you focus on that, automatically the forgiveness comes. so that advance in our we can focus on devotion service. If you don't have that quality, always will be intentions. It is not good for the spiritual advancement, as suggested by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So offenses. So offenses can be avoided by asking forgiveness, and you have to forgive others. Next, second one, avyartha avyartha kalatram. That means you are wasting so much of time. Mainly, we are in the Kali Yuga. The material world is so attractive. Somebody is attracted by movies, somebody attracted by politics, somebody attracted by dresses, jewelry, food, restaurants. So we waste our time talking about the politics, talking about the sports, so many other things. We waste. Our acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our dear Prabhupada. So if you see their lifestyles, they don't even wasted their time, say even second. Always they were thinking how I can spread this consciousness, even though they are working. So like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's a magistrate for the district in a higher position. Besides this work, he was translating so many books, he was writing so many bhajans, and he was engaging in the service of devotional service. So they don't waste. They know the value of the life, human life. So according to Prahlad Maharaj, he said, so the human life is rare, rarely achieved. So by so much of poise things, poise activities, we get the opportunity as a human being. If you misuse this, so we don't know in the next birth where we go. We get the other bodies like a bird, animals. Whether we don't know whether we get the association of pure devotees or not, whether we get the knowledge of Krishna. So simply, it's a waste of time. Don't know the value. So we should not even waste. So even in the first kind of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, Srama eva kevalam. So if you are not utilizing properly your time in hearing the message of Lord, the glorifying Lord, hearing the pastime of Lord, name, Gana. So these, you are simply wasting time like animal. So we should not be wasted. If you see the life history of Haridas Thakur, he was chanting 300,000 times per day. So he was not wasting a single thing. Even one time, one prostitute was sent by other Muslim rulers. So that time also, he was so focused, the chanting. That means he know the values. So they want to perform the devotion service. So many acharyas like Jagannath Babaji, Bhakti, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. So they know the value. They didn't waste their time by mundane talks, by mingling with the mundane people, talking to them about politics, mundane topics. They know the values. So that is the avarta kalatam. That means we should not waste our time. That is the second parameter. So schedule your day in a such a way that all your most of the time you are giving to the Lord. That's why Prabhupada said 8 hours of work is sufficient. So no need to go for overtime. So do other 8 hours for your sadhana, at least 8 hours. So we have to check whether our rounds are done, whether I have read something in the morning, I have done the temple program, some service for the Lord. So by checking all this, we always engage in the service of Lord. In that way, there is no scope to waste our time. So instead of that, okay, today just I am taking rest. I can watch the movie. Today I am taking rest. I go to movie or any um, outside, seeing the sceneries like that. So if you control your senses from doing all these, so you can less chances to avoid the waste of time. And viraktir, detachment. So many acharyas like uh, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were in a higher position in this Muslim religion. But inside their palaces, there one is in prime minister post, the another is Karamalik, that is a finance minister. Both are in higher positions, but they made their houses like a Gupta Brindavan. Under their houses, they made a big building and they kept Radha Krishna and they were doing bhajans. So that means they detach it from the worldly things, even though they are in a higher position. So just for the sake of earning, and they always their minds are absorbed in the service of Lord. They detached. And if you see the Parikshit Maharaj, he know that in 7 days I'm going to die. He didn't waste even second. So even second, the 7 days continuously engaged in hearing the Sukadeva Goswami. So he detached, even he is a opulent king. The entire the earth planet was ruled by Parikshit Maharaj. He detached. He gave up everything and sat on the banks of the Ganga and he started hearing the glories of Lord. So one point of time you should detach. Jnana Vairagya. So the advancement depends on how far you are detaching from the worldly things and how far you are in the same time attaching to the lotus feet of the Lord. The attachment and detachment. If you are detaching from the worldly things, somewhere you have to attach. Something you have to attach. That something should be utilized properly. That depends on your wiseness. Okay, so I am not watching movies, I'm detached from the movies, so I can go outside and eat. So attaching again to the mundane things, so it is not, means it is not advancing. So you are again coming to the pool of the material things. So in the higher state, rasavajjam rasopayajjam param drushta nivartate, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the higher taste. What is that higher taste? That higher taste is attachment to the lotus feet of Lord. So the detachment and attachment, they go parallel. That means they at the same time it happens. If you are detaching something, you are attaching to higher taste. So giving up lower propensities means taking up higher qualities, higher taste. That is um, engaging in the devotion service. So Lord Shiva is giving the highest essence for the prachetas. That is the um, importance of devotion service in these verses. Next, Manasunyata, false prestige. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, Nirmamna moha ditatanga dosa. That means that is the prime quality for the spiritual advancement. So hankara, even if you are doing so many services, so many things, you are in the mode of goodness. If you have little hankara, cannot advance. So one time what happens, Nardamani, he gone to Vrindavan. So some this earth, Bhudevi was crying, so much burden. How can I relieve? So ask some solution from the Lord. So Narayana, that's sorry, Narada, he said, okay, it's a like my left hand thing. I can meet Lord, and I'll get the solution. So he is a space traveler. He can go. There is no visa, no passport. He can go any planets, anywhere, whatever, wherever he wants. So he knows the route, how to go to Goloka. Every day he travels. He knows the routes to all the planets. He was traveling. So all of a sudden, the road was blocked. He couldn't see the Goloka. He was not. So then he got sweating. So what happened? Why I can't go to the Goloka? Then he thought, yes, I said I can know anything. I can meet Lord just like that. Because of that little ahankara, Lord covered. So he was in the illusion. He couldn't see the Lord. The spot he understood, he realized his mistake. So he prayed, Lord, please forgive me, the Lord. So I had a little ahankara. Please remove my ahankara. Then Lord opened and he appeared. So even little ahankara, false pride, you cannot advance in the spiritual journey. So that is very important. You have to, so mana sunyata, absence of false. So very difficult to control this parameter. So even we get pride of each small things. So girls, our daughters, or our sons, our children, if they are studying nicely, they are good in sports, we get okay pride. Okay, they are doing so good. So if you are getting good salary, good job, okay, I'm in a great position. We have a good house, we think, okay, so my status is so high. So even devotees sometimes we think, okay, I know all the verses of Bhagavad Gita. I can give the classes so nicely. I can decorate Radha Krishna so nicely. I can cook nicely. So they think that little proud also Krishna doesn't like. So this is not, um, it does not open doors for the Goloka. You have to be away from this manasunyata, absence of false pretenses. Next, asaban, hope. So we should have a complete faith, hope. So these are the two qualities we read in the six types of Saranagati. Pratikulasya sankalpa, sorry, anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjana. Rakshitaso Visyaso Gopratno Varnam Tada. That means, so you are the complete protector, you are the maintainer. So among the things, we have to remember these two parameters very nicely. That means you are the maintainer, you are the protector. So then we have a complete faith on him. Even the situations go. So always the living entities, they always get reverses only. The life will not go smoothly. Always reverses. The situations everywhere, because this is a Dukale Masasvatam. So we cannot expect happiness in this material world. It is a Dukalayam. So we are in the wrong place. Always, step by step, we challenges, so many disturbances. Even in a day, we get lots of disturbances. So we cannot expect happiness and smoothness in this material world. But we should have a hope. So even any situation, Lord is there to protect me, to maintain me. So no need to worry. That hope should have. That is very important. One time, what happens in Chaitanya Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting inside with his intimate associates. So one sage came from the outside. He asked, "Can I come inside?" The one one devotee came and he passed that message to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he has to wait for 10,000 years. So what happened? That devotee came back and gave that same message to that person who was waiting to see the Lord. So you know what happened? That devotee gave the answer. Oh, 10,000 years only. After that, God will come to me. I can see the Lord. That means his hope. Is having faith. After 10,000 years, Lord is going to come and I can see the Lord. So if we are in that situation, we get really frustrated. Oh, so long. I am doing so much service. I am doing this. I am chanting so nicely. Why Lord is not giving the darshan? So we lose our hopes. So Utsahan Dharya Nijat. Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Instruction says we should have patience. We should have that confidence. One day Krishna will come. All these our sadhana throughout life we are doing. Anchakale chamami swaranmukta kalevaram. So Lord Krishna says, so this is a test for us to pass the Antimakshan. So we have that hope. Lord definitely will come. I will see the Lord. Without that hope, you cannot advance in the okay. So whatever I'm doing, it's okay. Lord is not giving any. That means any. He's not giving anything to me. I cannot taste any, I cannot relish any Lord's mercy. He's not showing mercy on me. So many things, okay, it's okay. I cannot do this, I can do later. So, no. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Even Lord sees your sincerity. How sincerely you are doing. It doesn't matter whether Lord is giving mercy or not. Kunti Maharani says, give me calamities again and again. No matter, even I am disturbed by those calamities, I am suffering. No matter, give me so that I can remember you. So I can feel your presence everywhere. So no matter whether Lord personally come and give the mercy, He is giving darshan. No. So as long as you are advancing spiritual journey means that is the mercy of Lord. You have to understand that Lord already is giving. You are blessed by Lord's mercy. You should have that hope. Samuktanta, next one, eagerness. So the generally devotees what they start, and at the beginning they do lots of services, and after that, okay, I can't do this service. It is I'm getting tired. It is becoming too much for me. So I cannot do this many service. So slowly they reduce hours. The maintenance is very, very important in the devotion service. The enthusiasm in the beginning, enthusiasm in the middle, enthusiasm in the end should continue forever. No matter the situations come and they go, whether you are in the good situation, bad situation, no matter. That it should be continuous. That eagerness should be there. Eagerness to serve devotees, eagerness to cook for the Lord, eagerness to clean the temple. Whatever the service you are doing, that eagerness should be there. You should not lose that eagerness, enthusiasm. It's like a stepping stone. So that it's like a hope for your goal. The eagerness is to start to run your devotionals. So to maintenance is very important. Next, Namagana Sadaruchi. So always should be interested in hearing the Lord's glories, Lord's name, chanting. You should have that taste. That so sometimes people say, I'm not getting that taste. I'm chanting since so many years. Why I'm not getting taste? That means you should have that attachment, affinity to do that. Without that affinity, you cannot release the taste. So asaktistat guna kyane. So sometimes devotees say, okay, the chanting is okay. I don't want to hear anything about it. So knowing Krishna is okay. He is supreme person. So knowing Krishna is okay, that is okay. But these pastimes and knowing about the pastimes, qualities, gunas, is very important so that we can increase our affinity, love towards him. Sometimes if you love someone, you want to know about him more and more. So if they say more about it, you feel so happy. In the same way, if you know about the Lord, your love will increase gradually. That's why the Lord Krishna personally came to this planet. He performed so many pastimes so that we can relish, we can remember these pastimes again and again, again and again. Our anarthas will go away. These are not mundane activities, these are divine, transcendental activities. That's why when you hear these transcendental activities, the change definitely will come in your heart. The change will come and anarthas will go away. You get taste, asakti, and bhava bhakti emotion. Next, Pritistad Vasati Sthalim. So Prabhupada says, If it is not possible to stay in Vrindavan and Dham like Mayapur, so make your house as a temple, like make your home as a Vrindavan, make your temple as a Vrindavan. So every day you visit to temple. So every day you start doing worshipping your deities at home. It becomes Vrindavan. That means this point especially in order to bring you in the mode of goodness. So if you think, okay, this temple is Krishna is here. There is no difference between here and Vrindavan. If you think like that, you can serve Lord easily. That residing in that place is very important. Automatically, you get positive energy, positive vibrations. You are, as long as you are in the temple, we don't think about other world. Okay, seeing the beauty of Lord, serving the Lord, cleaning the, making garlands for the Lord. Always think about how to please Lord. We forget about everything. So that is, you are in the mode of goodness, bringing all this in the mode of goodness. So this actually helps. So when you are, your love is always there. It is hidden. You have to bring it, bring it open. You have to open it. So it always hidden. You have to bring it by devotional service. That Bhakti Lata Bija. ब्रह्मांड ब्रह्मते कोने भाग्यवान जीवा Guru Krishna Prasada Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So how you are maintaining that Bhakti Lata Bija is very important. So that it grows and it reaches Golok Brindavana. So by these parameters you can check yourself where you are. So whether I am giving the having these qualities like forgive others, still I am not in angry mood. Okay, these are doing like this. So you have to understand, okay, from next time I have to be very polite with them. So even though they do mistakes, and you can forget. And how I can utilize my valuable time. Human life is so valuable. How I'm utilizing this valuable time in the service of Lord, and how far I am detached from other things. I am how far I am attached to the, and how you are having that faith that the devotees and non-devotees, there is a difference. So non-devotees, if their disturbances come, so many calamities, disturbances, so many sufferings come, they lament for long years. They cannot overcome it. Devotee, they know this is the mercy of Lord, this is the plan of Lord, something will be good only. So if you think and have to come out of that lamentation and start serving the Lord, that time only, sorry, that time only we can understand, okay, we are in the stable mind. So these all parameters keep you in the stable path, without any disturbances. So going to the temple, thinking it is a Brindavan, and always hearing about the Lord. So every day Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hearing about Lord, and relishing the chanting his names, his pastimes. So these are the parameters. And the second point we are discussing is the personalities like Brahma is the first living entity. So Brahma, he is a first living entity. He lives for so many years, 4.32 billion years. We can't even imagine how many years that. It's beyond our imagination. So he lives for that many years. Suppose if you know we are living for 100 years for sure, we start postponing things. Okay, 25 years we do this, 25 years this, 25 years. Okay, at the end, if you get time, we do some devotion. So we segregate our things. That's why Krishna is so, he's so expert. He gave that knowledge or whatever it is, so that we don't know when we are going to die. So Prabhupada says it is emergency. We don't know when we are going to do. It is a short life. Use your life in the service of Lord. So in the same way, Brahma, even though he lives for so many billion years, He didn't want to waste his time. Always engage in the service of Lord. There are four yugas. The four yugas includes one Divya Yuga. So like this, there are 71 Divya Yugas. So in the one day of Brahma, all Manus, they appear and disappear. There are 14 Manus. They appear and disappear in one day of Brahma. So they also, their life also long, very long, not like us 100 years, 50 years, no. Very long, they have a lifespan. They don't want to utilize, they don't want to waste their life. They always engage in, even if you go to higher planets, their lifespan is more from the earthly planets, but they always engaging in the service of Lord. If you see it, Satyuga, Satyuga 100,000 years, Treta Yuga 10,000 years, Dwapara Yuga 1,000 years, Kali Yuga only 100 years. If you see in the Satyuga, 50 years they were ruling and they are taking their activities, and another 50 years they go for the forest. They are utilizing their time in the process of liberation to know the Lord. In the same way, the sacrifices, Treta Yuga, they want to know the goal of the life by doing the sacrifices. They don't want to waste the time. So each and every yuga, this is a process. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given a process for us, chanting. So by chanting, we go back, we get the love of God. So by doing the chanting, by engaging the devotional service, there is no question of wasting our time. So even higher planets, the demigods, their lifespan is more. They don't want to waste the time. They always engage in the services. And also at the end, Prabhupada mentioned one more very important point, that whatever the situations, always engage in the service of Lord. He has given the examples like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was harassed by his own father, Hiranyakaspu. He was suffering so many sufferings, but he never leave the chanting the Namo Narayanaya. So that is the essence. We have to take the remembering, Lord. Whatever the situations come, because it is the column. So we can't expect the life will be smooth. Life always be happy. No. So the calamities come, but you should be ever ready. When you are with stable devotional service, stable mind, you can overcome the difficulties very easily. Just like Kunti Maharani says, the big ocean becomes the hoof of the calf. So how much the calf is very small. The hoof of calf, even it is small. So the ocean becomes that much. You can cross easily if you are engaging in the devotional service. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Devi is a gunamaya, mama maya duratya, mama eva ye prapadyante, maya etam tarantite. That means if you are in the devotional service, if you surrender unto me, all these calamities will be you can overcome easily. So again and again, you are getting the instructions from the Lord. So you can do this. You can overcome this, and you can come to me easily. But we are ignoring all these instructions from Bhagavad Gita, from the Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are thinking this life is permanent, and we are, it all depends on our knowledge, our intelligence. Then the problem will come. If as long as you are not surrendered, so you will be again in the material world. So if you are surrendered, if you applying all these principles in the life will be utilized in the service of Lord easily. And there are other examples also, like Parikshit Maharaj, he utilized. And one more Muni, Katvanga Muni. So Katvanga Muni, he was a powerful king that time. He used to help demigods also sometimes. When he, uh, one time he helped demigods in the war. Demigods, you know that Indra does something and demons, they attack, they fighting. Again Lord comes and he helps. So in that way, in the one time, Katvanga Muni, he was a king on the earthly planet. He went there and helped. So Lord, the Indra asked, "You helped me a lot. So what boon you want?" So he asked one thing, Kadvangamani. So he said, "I want to know how long I'm going to live. So when I'm going to die, what is that period?" So immediately he came to know that he has one gadia. One gadia means how much? 24 minutes. Immediately, 24 minutes, if we are in that situation, what we think immediately? Anybody wants to say what we think if we are in that condition? Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, it depends on the person's consciousness. If he's a real devotee, he will just pray to the Lord for the at the final moment, considering only a few minutes left for him or her,
Yes. Yes.
so that he can go back to the Lord's abode by serving the Lord. That will
Yes.
be his
Yeah.
honest plea. But a
Yeah.
material person will think of his material things, how can manage it.
Yes. What is my bank balance? How to settle that one for my children? They think all these. They can't use that time properly. So even the last minutes, Katvamani used his time properly and he went back. Even the Parikshit Maharaj, 7 days left. He didn't waste. So immediately started hearing. So by these great personalities, by their instructions like Mahajanas, there are 12 Mahajanas. So by their instructions, we come to understand. So life should be properly utilized by seeing their lifestyles. How Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they left everything, their positions. They surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Immediately they distributed their wealth to their parents, their relatives, so everything, and they surrendered to Lord. And the other acharyas also, they utilized their time properly and they attained highest goal. In the same way, in the Rudra Gita, Lord Shiva is advising, use your life so wisely. Use the intelligence is given by Lord and use that intelligence in the service of Lord, and your human life will be achieved. So these are the points given by Srila Prabhupada for our understanding. So I thought I covered all these points. Anyone would like to add any more points or any comments? Please welcome. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody wants to add any points?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. So nicely you have explained. I think nothing is left for us to comment on that, but you have very nicely explained. Firstly, you have started with that the devotee is very intelligent. Krishna Jeboja Shevarachutu. He understands the principle of life and what is the goal of life. And there are different stages of a devotional service, starting from Shraddha to finally to Prema or Bhavud, then Prema. And so a devotee knows the human life is very short, as you have told. Particularly in this age, we have very short life. So we should not lose any of our time in doing other things, and rather devote entirely all our efforts for the service of the Lord. And that is the way for going successfully to reach the ultimate goal. And one should be very what is utshan. He should be very enthusiastic to reach
Yeah.
the goal, because if he follows, it is as Prabhupada has told and our acharyas is often told, even by Bodhi Bhakti, by following the instruction of this, our spiritual masters and the Vaishnavas, if we do it correctly, we should be determined. We should have no doubt in our mind that we can reach our goal. So we should be very enthusiastic about our things, and it should not that we should start suddenly and do a lot of things and then ultimately decide, no, I can't do that. So we should steadily do that, so that at every stage we have that faith in the about the about reaching our goal, and in the words of our spiritual master, that we can reach that goal. And if we do that and we completely surrender to the Lord, we'll reach our goal. There should be no doubt about that.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for adding points.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice class. Yeah, you nicely discussed all points. So I am remembering about your how you nicely discussed about the forgiveness. We should always remember that point in
Yes.
our in our every moment, especially be a devotee. Mm. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mother
Krishna.
Krishna.
So,
So,
Mataji, it appears there's no other. Is anybody there?
Now we can conclude the class.
So we
yes,
can conclude the class now. Vancha
Panchakalpatarubhyo
kalpatarubhyascha
kalpataruभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Namo Namo.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Jai.
हार ग्रेस सावित्री देवी दासी की जय।
Jai.
गौर
thank
प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
Hari
बोल।
Hari
ऑल
Bol.
ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees। हरे
you.
कृष्णा। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.